Namaste dosto, peeps. Okay, so it's been a minute since I've recorded something for very good reasons. One, it's summer, and there's a lot going on. Two, I've been doing a lot of research, right? Teacher, you can take the teacher out of the school, but you can't take whatever. I never left school basically in my brain, right? So I'm sitting here talking to some friends, and I've realized that over the years, I've spent a lot of time studying Indian culture. Now, I have specific reasons why I do that. I didn't just start this YouTube channel because I wanted to learn more about the Indian culture because they're just so interesting. No, I actually spend a significant amount of time with people in my particular circle of family and friends who are, in fact, Indian, go figure, right? So basically, I spend a lot of time having to learn this, or else I look like a noob or an idiot or whatever, insert the word you want to call that. And one of the things that happens over time is you start kind of incorporating little cultural things into yours. Like, for example, I named my car Bahubali. Go figure. It's a big black tanky car, right? Well, I had a friend who was like, what's a Bahubali? And I almost slapped her in the face. She would have deserved it. All right. And I tried to explain the plot to her, and she wasn't getting it. And one of the things that happens, I think, between the cultures joining, between Americans, Indians, all of this stuff, is that they're like, well, I don't want to watch Indian cinema because I don't want to read, which is, I think, a very American thing to say. Now, because I am a teacher and you can't take the teacher out of the school, see, I said it right this time, can't take the teacher out of the school, I'm going to explain to all of the special people out there the story of Bahubali, because I'm a teacher and you can't stop me from teaching. And I'm going to explain it in very, very American terms. And so here we go. This is Bahubali for special people. If you are American and you're like, what's Bahubali? Then this is going to be a great way to introduce you to this very epic story. And we know that this was one of the biggest movies in Indian cinema, right? And we're going to just take a little leap into it. Now, once upon a time, there was this lady, right? And she had an arrow in her kidney. She's running through the forest. She's like, oh, okay. And she's got a little baby, right? We got baby. And she's running, and she's got this whole lifting the baby up Lion King thing. And she comes to the edge of this mountain, and she's taking out all these guards. And we know she's pretty special because, one, she's got an arrow in her kidney and she's still running. And she looked to be 50. She's definitely an auntie, right? And she's holding the baby, and you're like, this baby must be special because Kidney Arrow Lady is holding him up. She comes upon a bunch of these little villagers, right? And she's just like, yo, take the baby. Gotta go. And promptly drowns herself. Well, she doesn't drown herself. She's most likely dying of blood loss, right? And kidney failure, right? So these people here on the edge of nowhere are like, yo, this baby must be pretty important because Kidney Arrow Lady did a whole Lion King Simba moment and handed him over. So we're gonna call this baby Shiva, or I guess. All right. So all these guards come back from wherever the hell they came from, right? And these peasant folk, because they're peasant folk because they're not dressed as nicely as Arrow Kidney Lady, they take this baby and they're like, he is very special. We must raise him to be special. So they go along, and a few years later, little Shiva here is not the brightest crayon in the box because he keeps trying to climb this big mountain. And he keeps climbing, he falls down. He keeps climbing, he falls down. And his mom's like, yo, you are gonna bust your bean here and you're gonna die and you need to stop it. Also, who knows what's up there? Yo, there could be crazy monsters up there. Stop it. Because this is definitely a kingdom that it doesn't exist, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I've never heard of Mahishmati, but pretty sure it doesn't exist. This is an epic story like Hercules or something, right? Well, good old little Shiva here is like, no, I'm going up that mountain. So he grows up, gets a little bit bigger. We're going to make a little bit bigger here. There we go. He's really big now, and he got some cool hair going. Okay, and he keeps trying to climb this mountain. So his mom and dad do what any self-respecting parent would do, and they go off to this guru, medicine man. I'm not sure who this dude is, but they go to him and they're like, yo, our kid's gonna bust his bean if he keeps going up this mountain, right? And the guru's like, okay, I've got the plan for you. Don't worry, I've got it. You're gonna take this pot, you're gonna go fill it up in the river, and you're gonna take it over to Shiva's idol, and you're gonna dump water on it 1,000 times. 1,000 times. Whoa, okay. So his mom starts doing it, and they're like, Shiva, yo, dude, you need to stop climbing this mountain because your mom is doing this whole water thing, and she's probably gonna drop dead from a heart attack. So you probably need to stop. And Shiva's like, don't worry, I got this. And they're like, oh, good. You're gonna stop climbing the mountain. He's like, no. I'm gonna pick up the idol and dump it in the river so that it's dumped 1,000,000 gallons of water on top of it. And he literally does it. Like, he does it. Because it turns out Shiva is muscle man. Look at these are his muscles. He's got muscles on his cows. He's huge. He's buff, right? And he's got a little bit of an unfortunate mustache when I first saw it, but it grows on you. All right, so everyone's like, yo, how is this dude so strong? And his mom's like, it's because he's from up above. And, maybe he is. I don't know. It doesn't really explain it with this lady here, but continuing on. So Shiva continues his course in checking out this mountain. He's like, my mom almost gave herself a heart attack for this, but man, it's calling to me. So then down comes this little mask, right? And it's got this shape of a woman on it. It comes floating down. He's like, it is my destiny. And he finally climbs the mountain. He literally gets his little buns up there after falling a few times, which, by the way, I know this is supposed to be like an epic or something like that, but there ain't no way that you would have survived some of those falls, unless you were, of course, Bahubali. Cool, whatever. And so he comes on and he's finding all these, like, people, and they're, like, shooting each other with arrows, and it's all, like, war zone up there. Turns out this little mask here belonged to this girl. She's very pretty. And her name is, I'm gonna butcher this, whatever, I don't know. All right, and she's part of a rebel group. And I think like Star Wars, and they're gonna attack the Death Star. And these guys are like, we must save the queen. We gotta save the queen. Oh my gosh, there's a queen and she's here in this castle. We're gonna draw a castle. This is a castle, right? And she's been chained up here for like 20 million years and she's not doing so good. And we gotta go save her. Here's her chains. Oh, she's chained to the castle, right? And they're like, we must save the queen. And Shiva here, he infiltrates their secret organization. He's like, that mask belongs to this hottie right there. And that girl is gonna be my wife. So basically, he tricks her into doing a bunch of stuff. He like tattoos her arm. Which, I mean, okay. Again, how does she not notice that her arm is getting tattooed? Anyway, she goes back after getting tattoos and like noticing there's some weirdo out there stalking her. And they're like, Avantika, do you want to go save the queen? And she's like, it is my destiny. And they're like, but why do you have tattoos on you? Do you care more about your appearance? And she's like, gives this big passion speech because girl power. And she's like, I will save the queen. It is my destiny. So good old Shiva, he's been kind of coming in on that. And he's like, listen, yo, if it's your destiny to save the queen, it's my destiny to save the queen. I don't know who this lady is. But if you say she's important, then she is important to me. Also, I've just met you. Also, I tattooed your arm with a matching tattoo. Look, we met. Right? And she's like, dude, I don't know you either, but you're pretty hot. And I've gotten used to the mustache thing. So we're going to do this. So they basically go on. They infiltrate the castle. Blah, blah, blah. It's really epic. And turns out this castle's inhabited by bad guy. And his name is I don't know, Bala something. It's like a play on like Bahubali, only it's Bala, right? And he's got a cool ass servant, and his servant's name, got this big old beard, is Katapa. All right, this guy's a bad guy. We're gonna give him bad little eyebrows and teeth. Okay, Bala's bad. He's the bad king of this kingdom that chained an old lady up to the castle out in the courtyard for like 20 years. Right? And he's like, Katapa, go back and get the queen. Take my son with you. My wimpy son, but, he's the prince. take him with you, and you're gonna go and snuff out this rebellion. He's like Darth Vader, basically. He's Darth Vader of India, right? So Kataba's like, yes, sir, because he is very loyal to the king. But you get the feeling that this dude's like, he's a pretty good guy. And you're like, why are you serving vampire Bala king, man? Right? And so he goes and he chases after these guys, and they're like, they got the poor haggard looking queen. She's not looking too good after being chained to a castle for 20 years, right? So they're chasing after her, and he comes along, and they're having this big old epic fight, and Bahubali, oh, sorry, my bad, Shiva straight up cuts off the king's son's head. Just literally slices that sucker right off of his neck and sends it flying, and everyone's like, whoa, that's not gonna be good. They're not gonna like that over at the castle of Mahishmati, right? And Shiva here is like, yo, I got me a sword, and I'm taking on anybody else who comes near me. And Queen Lady, who is the destiny of my girl. And Kataba's like, yo, okay, I'm the king's servant, and I'm gonna kill you, bro. And then he gets this big look at this guy, and he's like, yo, I know that face. You are Bahubali. So he literally starts bowing down to him, and everyone's like, well, that's a bit of a change of events from gonna kill you to I'm worshiping you now. So they're all like, so there's a story here. Can you explain yourself? And also, what should we do with this severed head? And he's like, I'll just throw that away. Nobody cares about that kid anyway. So literally, they've just forgotten about dead son. And they move on to flashback. Because we must have a flashback. Now, let me tell you, this movie's like 3.5 hours long. So that might be part of it. There's a lot of reading for us Americans. However, if you're literate, it's not that big of a deal. So we literally leave present day, and Katapa's like, okay, everybody sit down, get some popcorn, get yourself a drink. We're going to tell you a story. It's going to take at least 50% of this saga. Okay? Shiva here and Avantika, and apparently his parents have shown up. For some reason, they chase after him because they were like, he's going to break his bean. All right. And they're like, okay, we want to hear the story too of how our son is really like super special. And Katapa's like, honey, hold on to your boots. He is one special bro. Okay, so they tell a story. So, once upon a time, there's Mahishmati. I don't think that's how you spell it, but whatever. There's Mahishmati. It's a very fancy kingdom, right? And there's a king, and there's a queen, and they have a baby. And his name is Bahubali. Now, it's not the Shiva Bahubali. It's actual Bahubali. Right? Actually, I'm not even sure if that's his real... Yeah, that's his real name. I don't know. See, there's details that you miss in the nuances of not understanding the language. Anyway, this guy also has... Okay, this is his wife. That's a girl. Okay, he's got a sister. Sister turns out to be Kidney Arrow Lady. Right? And she's got a husband. Her husband's got a weak little hand. Right? It's like a little shriveled little hand, right? So she's not queen. He's not king. He's king. She's queen. They have a baby. These guys have a baby too. I don't know why she wanted to have a baby with this guy because it's kind of creepy, but whatever. They have a baby. And this is Bala, I don't know. I should have looked this up before I made this recording. All right. So you got Bahubali and Bala and their cousins, whatever. Well, this lady dies in childbirth. She did, right? And he dies too. So this poor babe, the rightful heir, is in fact an orphan. Now, this dude can't be king. He's not dead, but he can't be king because he's got a shriveled hand, and he's also like really creepy. Anyway, so mom here decides she's gonna take on the whole kingdom. She's like, yo, I don't need no man. I'm good. Girl power, of course. There's a lot of girl power in this movie. And she takes both the children and raises them as her own. And now she's queen, so technically shouldn't he be king's successor? We don't know. But she's like, oh, I don't know. This guy's rightfully, because of his dad, I'm just raising, yada, yada. A lot of people oppose her. She definitely stabs people while nursing a baby because there is nothing like feminism in India, apparently. All right. So they grow up. This dude turns out to be really awesome. This turns out to be a douchebag, right? And there's a big war going on, like huge war. And in this war, no, guys, this is just going to get crazy pants. All right. So there's a big war against these creepy dudes that are like all like dark and they've got like missing eyes and we know they're the bad guys because they're gross looking. And these two are gonna head the army Dun, 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 dun. And mom here, Queen Kidney Arrow Lady, is like, listen, the person that kills head of creep army that's attacking us gets to be king. Fair is fair, right? And Bahubali's like, I will do my best, because of course he's Bahubali. And Bala's like, yo, I will take out whoever I have to. Tell me who to kill. I will kill everybody. I'll kill him. I don't care. I'll kill whoever. I like killing anyway. Anyway, so they're going on this big army, and you gotta watch the fight scene, whatever. Basically, in the end, Bahubali is supposed to get the kill, but Bala kills him with his, like, retractable mace stabber thing, right? And so it knocks him out, and instead of getting mad, Bahubali's like, there, you won. Okay. It's okay. I didn't mow down all those peasants like you did with my chariot of death, but I'm gonna accept defeat gracefully because my daddy was a king and yours isn't. Right, he doesn't say that, but that's what we're all thinking. Anywho, so we're going along, and the queen's like, yo, I know you think you're gonna be king, but you're not. And you know why? Because you mowed down all those peasants with your chariot of death. And the guy's like, Bala is like, yo, I am the rightful king. I killed him. I told you I'd kill whoever. I did it. I killed him. And Bahubali's like, he did kill him. I mean, technically I had the killing shot, and he just like snuck under me like a little sneaky bastard, but you know, you gotta do what you gotta do, right? It's fine. It's cool. I'll be like the head of the army or something. And she's like, no, Bahubali, you will be king. End of discussion. And Bala, you know this guy is mad, and his dad is mad, and everybody is mad. But everybody else, like pretty much the whole of the kingdom's like, Bahubali, Bahubali, yay, yay. Okay, so that's a really condensed version of what happens. But basically, we flash back to Katapa, beard guy, Katapa, and he's telling this story, and Bahubali Shiva version with his mustache, Shiva's like, yo, this is so awesome. Is this my dad? And he's like, that was your father. And Shiva's like, whoa, mom and dad that are not my mom and dad, turns out. You're just like my adopted parents. My dad is Bahubali. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's Bahubali. And Aventika's like, oh my gosh, I'm like gonna marry Bahubali's number 2. And Katapa's like, yeah, that's more to the story. And she was like, oh yeah, like, can I go meet my dad? I'm like totally like down to meeting my real dad. And Katapa's like, no, you can't. And she was like, well, why? And he's like, because I stabbed him. And everyone's like, oh! And that's the end of the movie. Of course, we've got this whole Katapa stabbing the real Bahubali senior original version. And everyone's like, no, Katapa, how could you have sunk so low? Also, what is happening right now? The end. Okay, guys. Was that a lot? It was a lot for me, too. However, it is proof that, one, this is not hard to do. This is watching these kind of epic stories is amazing, and you can view it any way you like. So while this audience probably already knows all this stuff, and you've all seen this movie like 20,000 times, and you like sit there in your little cute little and watch it, I think that it's all about showing that we can spread culture. And also, if I didn't entertain you with my artwork, then understandable. But also, I think that as a teacher, this is the kind of stuff we should be teaching in our schools, like right up, straight up, just like this. And yes, if you're asking yourself, does she teach school like this? The answer is yes, I do. Yes, I do teach just like this. So if you liked this, no, you can't come to my classes. However, because they're for 13-year-olds and hopefully none of you are 13. However, if you liked more of this, give me some recommendations on movies that I should watch, and explain for people who don't like to read subtitles when they're watching their movies. Or if you just really enjoy watching an American teacher make a fool of herself with her stick figures, I will be doing Bahubali to the conclusion, just because how can you tell this story? Also, if I made any mistakes, that should tell you something about about my memory. But also, correct me. It'll be really funny in the comments. If you like this, let me know. Guys, like and subscribe. I am looking to build up this channel to 10,000 subscribers by the end of the summer. And also, I want to make this an even better channel with more of my style, which is the American teacher. So if you liked it, like, subscribe, head over to Instagram and click on that. I upload lots of extra videos and things like that. And we're just building it more and more every day. And namaste to you guys.